How many excuses do you make at midday that cost you $1 million in closings? We have so many excuses. We love excuses. Why? Because in that way, we don't need to try anything. So we are not going to fail, or we are not going to be rejected. That is our idea. But how much money are you leaving on the table? Is that 6 figures that you're looking for in a year or maybe in a month that you're not making because you are having a lot of excuses? So unfortunately, I'm going to let you know that that's what you're doing right now. I have, like I said before, remember that I have my office. I just closed the office. I had 2 offices, like over 500 agents coming to my office. I have agents from $0 to $1 million in sales in a month. I have agents 6 figures income that they do not expect it to have it. And the thing is that they think because they know or they have this opportunity to make that much in this period of time, they stop everything, or they don't need to know everything else. But what happens when you are not completely organized, when your schedule is coming in the way that stops you to make more money, close more deals, or even to grow in your company? The thing is that when you are having the excuse between 11 to 2, because in the morning time, you have to give the kids to the school, or you're taking English classes. There's so many excuses that you guys like to have. I have agents. When I came here to the United States, Florida in 2006, there was no many Spanish speakers in real estate. The classes that I took with Century 21, it was in English. And there's no classes in Spanish. There was no book in Spanish. And at least in this area, in my area, I don't know what happened in Miami, but at least here in Orlando, Central Florida, it was in English. So I came from Puerto Rico. I get a dictionary, a real estate dictionary, the book, and I pretty much translate the freaking book. I need to make this happen. I have an opportunity in my hands. I have a lender that told me, Rosalina, you should do this. And I says, I did not pass the test in Puerto Rico. I came from Puerto Rico in May. I tried to take the test in January of that same year, and I did not pass in my native language, Spanish. I came here in May and November. I took the test and I passed. Don't ask me why. Maybe I was too stressed, or maybe I really don't want to stay in Puerto Rico. That could be the possibility, but I came here, I passed the test, and I can make money with real estate. And I don't have excuses in real estate. I have a baby with 2 years old and a half when we came from Puerto Rico. My husband was working in architecture. That is his passion. And all of a sudden, an extra income doesn't feel bad. I was making $60,000 in 6 months from home. Why? Because when somebody asked my husband, or someone was talking about real estate, my husband was talking about me, but I was at home doing something. I was making my website, or I was going to new constructions and make videos. I was doing something because I believe and I know that real estate will bring money to me. I do not have excuse between 11 to 2 because the girl has to go to sleep, or I had to do the lunch, or she has to take a nap, or she has to take a shower. I schedule my time. How many of you are procrastinated and not having the best time management because you love to have excuses? And what happened is that your excuses are costing you money, and you need to make the money in your pocket, not wasting that money in ideas and pretend that you're doing something that you are busy. I have this person that I don't know why all of a sudden he contacted me. He calls me. He wants me, of course, he wants me to be in his office, but I was in sale, selling a lot of real estate, but he just called me. And I found that interesting because I know his numbers. I know that he make a lot of money in real estate, and that would be a good person for me to learn from. And I have been telling you many of my videos that I love to learn how to do it. I always ask the person that I did it before me how they did it, and I try to duplicate that. They did it. I just need to do it as well. Use my magnetize, my energy, my personality, my me, myself, being different, but doing the same thing. I just had to make it my own. And the funny thing is that he came home. I remember that I make dinner, I cook, we sit in my kitchen table, and he brought this notebook like this or smaller than this one, but old. It was old. The pages sounds, the pages has a movement of the old that those pages were. And I just sat down with him with my notebook and a pen. And I write down everything that he told me to do. And guys, I did exactly that. Later on, like 2 or 3 years later, we were talking. He was guiding me through for me to open my first office. And there was so much information that we shared. Now I was his equal. My knowledge was exactly where he was. There were things that he doesn't know how to answer, but I know the answer because I keep myself learning. I do not have a midday excuse. I want to make those 6 figures at home. Guys, I make 1.3 million in sales in a weekend. It was $35,000 compensation. And I make it in a weekend, following what he told me to. I told my agents to do it. They didn't do it. If one of the agents just put just one thing in practice, they saw some results, but they did not grow the way that I was expecting. Because people think that what they know is enough and they don't need to learn anything else. And I had to tell you that is your big mistake. When you think that you know everything, I had to tell you, bye. And I have to tell you, you will not grow. You will be continually doing the sloppy work that you're doing right now because you're growing the pen of your knowledge. And you need to be learning every single day. I took training. My husband hate waste money. The wasting money, the paid coaching, my husband doesn't believe in that. Okay. So I had this situation with I want to pay and I pay for this amazing real estate coach that take all your mental limitations if you want to learn and if you want to put the things in practice from your mind. I learned so much from that guy and I love exactly everything that he says, and I put everything that he says in practice. The only way that I can say it works or it's not working is because I put it in practice and I know now what I would like to do and what I not would like to do. So, and even I have a picture of that guy in that event. So the thing is that I always have been very serious that when I have a coach, when I have a mentor, I try to duplicate what they do. And I try to be there in short time. Remember, they passed the experience already. I just have to copy paste what they're doing in my brain, put it in my own way, and I need to have the same. It must be. They did it already. I don't need to do anything else. The thing is that when that happened, and now I'm in front of these people, and I have agents in my office, and I have agents that come in, Rosalina, how I do this, and this. And all of a sudden in 30 days, they have the first closing, $10,000 to $15,000 in compensation. I have agents having $18,000, $30,000 in compensation, $50,000 in compensation. It's ridiculous. Knowing person that tell me, Rosalina, I have this agreement with this developer, and I'm the only realtor making the videos or doing the presentation or doing open houses there. That was booming. That was ridiculous. But what happened? They get used to it and they lost the love. They take it for granted, and you cannot take things for granted. There's someone else there with hungry, very well prepared as you, with more hungry maybe than you, willing to do everything like you. And at the moment that you take a break, they're going to take advantage of it. They're just waiting for the opportunity. So be careful with that. So I want to bring this midday excuse that you lose $1 million in closings, because when I have my office, first, okay, let me just start it with this. I have my Century 21 experience. In Century 21s, we have a week of training that they tell us exactly how everything will be prepared, the documentations that we need, the marketing, the platform, the everything that we need to do for the moment that we need to get the compensation, the communication in the office, exactly from A through Z. And I remember Century 21 that if we were there, we were working. We were not joking. We were not just filling a share there. And I remember the broker was there, an open door broker. And the worst thing would be that he sees you sitting there just having fun with your friend and not doing real estate, not making the phone calls or making the cold callings, right? Or do the follow-up, or sending the information to the client, to the lender, or talking to the lender that was right there with you, or trying to go to the class that they have that day. It was so much respect to the broker and the office time that I missed that. I thought that my office will have that. I thought that my agents will love that. I thought that my agents will feel the need that I feel when I started. And it wasn't that way. I opened the office around 9 o'clock in the morning. I have I have first an office, one story, one floor, super open space that we do classes. I brought many people to give classes, trainings, etc. And there was always excuses. Oh, people leave because they had to pick up the kids, or they don't come in because something happened, whatever, maybe it was a flying from their faces and they get, all distracted. I didn't came to the class. But the thing that always put me in bad mood, to be honest with you, it was like I found a title company to give them leads, to help them to have clients, find the way to make them to be productive. They don't do the classes. They didn't connect it online. And I was so embarrassed, because when this person that called me says, I would like to sit with you, I make dinner at home. Why you don't take the opportunity of your office to give it to you everything to grow, and you had the excuse to not come or not connected online? And this midday excuse is between 11 to 2. Why? Because between 11 to 2, you're thinking, oh, pretty much the whole morning just passed, and I had to go and pick up my kids, and then I have to cook, and then I had to do the extracurricular activities, and I have to do this, and they have to go to sleep. I have classes how to get clients. That's how to get leads. I'm 100% commission. Okay. I'm not charging extra for whatever will getting a good benefit of those classes or get those clients. Second, I have classes how to practice objections. There were a few there. And the thing is that when I put them to practice objections, they had to go. So what that means is that they don't feel comfortable doing the objections, or they don't want me to see how they answer those objections. I have lenders and I have title company giving classes for them to learn. They didn't show up. I even tell them how to use the MLS to get leads, to get statistics. Because if you have clients that are more, what is the word? Oh my gosh, I forgot. Anyways, they like statistics in numbers and things like that. How to get that? They didn't want to do to the office. So sometimes they're just telling me, hey, Rosalina, we're going to be meeting here because we are going to, I don't know, create our social medias or do listing or whatever it was the thing. And I hear them spending all the time just to see what will be the name of the team or the group that they're going to have. The other time that they spend it with them at that time is they're going to make shirts. They're going to open a social media page. They want to do like this kind of show or videos, right? To promote themselves with the lenders and things like that. Marketing, social media. And they want to, what was the other thing that they used to do there in the office? Oh, how to use the TikTok. And then one of them know how to use the TikTok, how to copy paste the hashtags. And I was there listening to them, and I was like, how they're getting clients. Are those things helping them making money at that moment? How is the ROI in everything that they were doing that day? Because for you to be there, there's something else that you're not doing, right? But the thing is that after that meeting, there's another meeting because they want to see if the shares looks good or their logo that they were selecting is good or the colors is good. But I never saw an ROI. I never saw a progress. I never saw sales there. I never saw those group bigger, evolve, growing. And it was so funny because instead of them to sit in front of the MLS and prepare a list of CRMs, have a target of neighborhood, doing the mailing, doing phone calls. I never saw that. And I says, what are they doing? It's not time for socialize. We socialize when we do the sale and we celebrate. But now it's time to make the ROI. It's time to progress. It's time to make money. And what are you doing from 11 to 2? What are you doing? Are you making money? Are you having an ROI? Or you're complaining? Or you are looking for excuses? Or you're just going to the computer to look busy or posting the same? That was another thing. You guys like to copy paste or do exactly what others do in social media. You are your own brand. You are your own person. Where you copy paste something else to someone else, do your own stuff. Be original. Be you. You don't need to do what others does. What is your plan? What are you going to do for productive? to produce to have an ROI? How many closings do you need to get the millions? I don't know. I have videos that it says a CEO worst nightmare is how to put $1 million to down to the drain, or not, or careful not to close it. I had to stop listing and start closing. You need to see the results. While you're wasting your time looking busy, there's other agents making money because they don't have time to lose. They need to produce, they need to make money, they need a ROI because the market is always good. You need to continue growing, you need to continue learning, you need to continue being the best because you're never the best. I'm still taking trainings, I'm still getting classes for development, I'm still learning from real estate, I'm still learning from my nervous system. Why? Because you need to put that together. Sometimes we do not wake up with the same confidence that we went to sleep the day before. And we need to have that. There's something happening in the morning that tries to put you out of track. But your nervous system will allow, they will tell you that. I don't know if you have been noticed that when you feel uncomfortable, it's because you're not doing what you need to do. You should be asking yourself, what I did today different, that's going to make a different result tomorrow. Because if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again and you haven't seen any results, it's because what you're doing is not the correct thing. You can pay all the coaches, you can leave money there, you can waste all the money that you have and the one that you don't have, and you're not going to do anything because you are not putting the energy and the money and yourself in the correct way. Okay, the money, the clients need to go to the closing table. That's when you're the best, when you get that deal closed without excuses. And you need to put the power based on action. That's it. That is you. The client, you're waiting of the clients because the clients doesn't trust you, because they don't feel that they can make the right decision. They still doesn't have all the information. You have to have the right mindset. No's, I don't know if you have been here, but it's 10 no's before the first yes. And the thing is that you should be perfectioning. Oh, let me see that the correct way. You have to be better and better and better. And those no are going to be even less. But the first is the first 10. The first 10 no's, there's coming the yes. And I don't know if you guys have been calling in this company that you buy the leads. They will tell you the conversion rate is 1 to 10. And you need to be good in objections. You need to be good in converting those leads to make money. But if you spend those from 11, 12, 1 to 4 hours in excuses, or just try to be busy, if your logo has this color or not this color, or your picture this did or need that, that is not working. That is not where you need to put your energy, because it won't work that way. So the only way that you can see that things are working is because you really are making money on it, because you see yourself growing in knowledge. People start respecting you. The clients are calling you to tell you, hey, I have been thinking about this and this and this. What do you think that I should make a decision? What would be the best decision? How can you help me? The clients will think that you're part of the decision making. The client would say, what do you think? You had to say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. An honor for me for you to think that I had to help you, but this is your home. What would you like to do? Whatever your decision you make, I would be happy with if you're happy with. The relationship is so different, but you need to learn. You need to use this time. You have so much power between 11 to 2. This is the same from 9 to 2. Because even if you have any situation, any something happen, go to your um to your tools and find there what do you need. You need to do CMAs. You need to go to do the CMAs for buyers and sellers. Get a neighborhood. Try to tell them what they could do, what happened with their equity. How can you help them with the equity? What happened if they want to sell? How can you make people make the correct decision? That's up to you. How people can have one house and have now investment properties. How can you help them to do that? From one to making money. Do you know how to do that? Can you tell them how to do it? Do you have the information to do it? Do you have your team? You have the lender, you have the lender that know how to do that. How many people are renting that are looking for a house? Do you know how to convert those from rental to sellers, to buyers, sellers to get another house? And maybe that one that they're living right now renting and get a better home for them. How can you maximize the clients, the opportunities? The clients are just in front of you. How are you using your marketing? Are you a secret agent? Or everybody knows that you're a real estate agent, or you're selling whatever you're selling? Are you using the brand of your company? You put in your hat, you put in your shirt, you're showing who you are, you're talking about what you're doing. People know what you're doing. And this is so funny because I was talking with my daughter the other day, and we were doing an ebook that is also in the description link. And it says, one of the questions says, if your family had to talk about what you're doing, they will know what you're doing. How they can explain that? They will be explaining correctly. If your friends need to talk about what you're doing, and they will be doing it correctly. And that's something that you have to think. Does people know what you do and how you do it? Because one thing is be a real estate agent. One thing is sell homes. One thing is give the key of the dream homes in the best scenario for your clients. What is the value? What you're different? I think that the last time that I saw the numbers, we were like a 17 or 18,000 agents just in the area of Orlando, Central Florida. There's too many. How you are going to make the decision that you are one step ahead? How can you get out of that group? How can you be in a ladder and people can see you, all of them here, and you're right here? That's your job. That's why your midday excuses is killing your $1 million closings, and you need to stop that. So you have a profit leaking because you have excuses keeping. You need to stop that. You don't have the real estate empress and CEO mindset because you continue having excuses. Here, you will find the way to grow. You need to grow. You need to make this different. I have a bunch of videos that are going to be linking in this video for you to go and follow, but you need to focus on your sales script. You need to work in your nervous system reset. You need to be the best of yourself. Every single day, you need to have a mark that it says, today I did better than yesterday. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Rosalina Esquilin. I'm the CEO Empress, and I have 7 years on real estate brokerage experience. I'm a real estate instructor. I'm a developer with my husband now. We're building houses, but I have over 20 years experience in real estate and many years experience in sales. And I want you to be different, to do and make your dreams come true. So thank you so much for being my channel, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.